Hello and welcome everybody. Do you often wonder why we are not able to make money in our own business, or why as a team manager uh, we are not able to deliver up to our employees' expectations, our boss's expectations, or why our boss keeps telling us that we are not good for anything and no more adaptable to changing times? Well, if yes, then maybe I can help. You must have heard of companies going in for various ISO certifications, and you must have also heard that getting an ISO certification for your company is not an easy task. But let me tell you this, ISO standards can actually help you to succeed in your business as well as in your professional life. You just need to have patience and develop a discipline to absorb what the standards tell you. Trust me, once you get to understand the standards, you would have a sure shot way to guaranteed success. Okay. One thing though is true, that the standards themselves are quite difficult to understand or interpret. That's where I come in. I have tried to break down these standards starting with 9001 in small chunks that you can watch in your coffee break and try to embrace them, practice them, apply them. And I can tell you that once you have applied all the coffee bite sessions, you would easily be able to get your business or your process certified on that particular ISO standard and also succeed in your business objectives. Do you find that unbelievable? Well, you don't need to. Go through some of the sessions and send me your feedback. I'm sure this will help you crack the ISO and make you succeed. Okay, so in this series of sessions, I'm first going to touch upon ISO 9001, which is the most sought after certification in today's world. Be it any industry, any domain, the first thing the customers look for is ISO 9001 as the minimum basic certification in a company. So what is ISO 9001? ISO 9001 is the international standard for quality management system, also known as QMS. It is published by an international organization for standardization, abbreviated as ISO, and it specifies the requirements for establishing, implementing, and maintaining a QMS in any organization. The complete name of the standard is ISO 9001 Quality Management Systems Requirement. Now, these standards get revised year on year. I mean, not every year, but after a gap of 5 to 7 years, based on industry feedback, the body International Organization Standard for Standardization, which is ISO, it keeps on revising the standards. So 9001 was last revised in 2015, and it is referred to as ISO 9001 2015. In order to be released and updated, ISO 9001 had to be agreed upon by a majority of member countries so that it would become an internationally recognized standard. So remember, this is an internationally recognized standard, which means that any company, whether located in India, abroad, anywhere, so if it is ISO 9000 certified, the certification is recognizable across the world, which means it is accepted by a majority of countries worldwide. So what is quality management system? The quality management system, which is often referred to as a QMS, is nothing but it is a collection of policies, processes, documented procedures, and records. This collection of documentation, when I say documentation, this documentation is something that organization is to maintain. That QMS documentation defines a set of internal rules that will govern how that company creates and delivers its product and services to the customers. So the QMS of any organization must be tailored to the needs of that organization and the product or service that organization provides. But the ISO 9001 standard provides a set of guidelines to help make sure that you do not miss any important elements that a QMS needs to be successful. It is intended to be used by organizations of any size or industry and can be used by any company. As an international standard, it is recognized as the basis for any company to create a system to ensure customer satisfaction and improvement. And as such, many companies demand that, when I say many companies demand, many customers demand this as the minimum requirement for a supplier organization to become a supplier. So because you are auditing your processes as well as having a certification body audit them, your customers themselves do not need to audit your company. And because of this, ISO 9001 has become a necessity for most of the companies to compete in the market. So it's like a qualification basically. So for example, myself, I'm a bachelor in engineering. That's a minimum qualification for me to apply and appear as a prospective candidate for any interview, right? For a job in an organization. Exactly like that. Even ISO is a certification, and 9001 is one of the certifications which customers look for in any organization before they go in to choose that organization as a supplier. Okay, to avoid monotonicity in this session, I have included a few objective type questions to keep you awake and check your understanding so far in the session. These questions and also almost all of the content that I am going to present in this Coffee Bite session and other Coffee Bite sessions, it is picked from various free sources across internet. Even you can Google and probably get through a lot of this content. It's nothing which I have invented by myself. I'm just weaving it together in my own words to make it sound simple to you. That's the only thing that I'm doing. I'm trying to make that connect between the standard and yourself. So the first objective type question here is a quality management system, or QMS, is a systematic approach for improving the profit of the company. Is it true or false? So what do you think? Do you think that QMS is a systematic approach so that you can have more profits in your company? No, true is not the correct word. A QMS is a systematic approach for quality management and for enhancing customer satisfaction. Ultimately, this might lead to higher profits, but financial performance is not the primary focus of ISO 9001. So try to understand, 9001 focuses on quality. It says that whatever product or service you are going to give to your customer, it should have that quality inbuilt. The customer should not feel that he is getting the product or service of an inferior quality. That's the end of the book. It's not saying that, you know, if you are investing 100 rupees, you will get 150 after investing 100 rupees in your company. No, nothing like that. So you'll find that all ISO standards, including 9001 or 27001 or 22301, they aim to improve the processes, quality, security, these different aspects of an organization's processes and all. But they never talk about increasing your turnovers or getting profits. But again, I guess you would agree that if you are able to improve your company's deliverables, the earnings would obviously increase, won't it? Isn't it? It's like if I'm getting more and more certifications for my, if I'm getting more and more qualified, obviously it will increase my market value. I'll be able to earn more. So that's a byproduct of it. Okay, so but none of the colleges you apply to it, they never say that you are going to get placed for this much amount of salary. No, they don't. It only guarantee you knowledge, understanding, and improving you as a person, as a more qualified person. Similarly for ISOs. So what does ISO 9001 actually look like? It's basically split into 11 clauses, wherein clause 0 to 3 describe the standard, clauses 4 to 10 set the requirements for QMS which must be fulfilled to be compliant with the standard. The standard is supplemented by 2 annexures which do not add anything to the requirements. Okay, so but then again, how you will, I mean, on the face of it, it looks like very complicated and complex, but really it is not. So let's try to see. Clause 0 is the introduction clause, which gives the general overview of the standard, its purpose, and compatibility with the other standards. Clause 1 is the scope. It points out that the standard is applicable to all types of organizations. Clause 2 is nothing but normative references. No great guns there. Clause 3 is terms and definitions, which refers to the ISO 9000 family, where the terms and definitions are given. So up to 0 to 3 is basically nothing. As I said, it just describes the standard. Okay, so actual standard compliance starts from clause 4. So clause 4 is context of the organization, which means it defines the requirements for understanding external and internal issues of an organization, interested parties, their requirements, and defining the QMS scope. Clause 5 talks about leadership. It defines top management responsibilities and the quality policy. Clause 6 is planning. It defines the requirements for addressing risks and opportunities, quality objectives, and plans for achieving them. Then comes clause 7, which is support. It defines the requirements for availability of resources, competencies, awareness, communication, and control of documents and records. Clause 8 is the actual operation. So as you can see, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8, which is I mean, you have 1 million rupees or 1 million of any currency with you, and you simply go open a shop or a business and you start operating. So you actually come to step 8 directly, missing everything 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And the correct way to go about operations is to first follow that 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We'll talk more about it. So 8 is easy for you to understand. It defines the requirement for operational planning, control, design, development, control of externally provided processes, products and services, release of products and services, and non-conforming outputs. Ninth is performance evaluation. I mean, you have done the operation for a couple of months, couple of years, and then you perform evaluation of your business. It defines the requirement for monitoring, measurement, evaluation, analysis, internal audits, and management reviews. Clause 10, I mean, this is the need of the hour today. It's improvement, continual improvement. It defines requirement for non-conformities, corrective actions, and continual improvements. And then, as I said, that the standard is supplemented by two annexures, annexure A and annexure B. Annexure A is a clarification of the new structure, terminology, and concepts, and annexure B is nothing but other international standards on quality management and QMS. So that's why it's a quite comprehensive, complete set of guidelines for any person or set of persons to run their business, or even if it's a big business, then various teams to run their business processes, the team processes, and then ensure that whatever is the output from that process, whether as a whole business or whether as a team, is of the optimum quality, which the customer is not feeling bad about. That's the overall idea. So before we finish this coffee break, here is another question. ISO 9001 is a standard that defines the technical details for process control. For example, what kind of measuring devices should we use in the production process? So what do you think? Is it true or false? I'll read the question again. So the statement here is that ISO 9001 is a standard. Yes, it's a standard, and it defines the technical details for process control. For example, what kind of measuring devices should be used in the production process. Do you really think that when I said that the standard is applicable to any industry, any domain, then how can it possibly give you definition on measuring device in the production process? So that's actually incorrect. False is correct. ISO 9001 specifies the requirement for establishing, implementing, and maintaining a QMS in an organization. It specifies what needs to be achieved. It doesn't specify any technical details of how things should be done. Like every other ISO standard, this too is generic to go into details like what tools or devices should be used. All that stuff is for you and me to think about and apply our own minds as per our industry and knowledge. Okay, so that was a glimpse of what you can expect from the upcoming sessions. As I said, the only aim is to break down the heavy duty standards into simpler coffee size bites. I'm sure all of you who are watching this channel are mature enough to apply it then into a business and reap the fruits out of it. Do comment how did you like my video. God bless you.